Monday Quilt Chat. I hope you're watching this on Monday. Based on last week's record, I was a little late on all the videos, but I made it within the same day, I think. As a matter of fact, Monday's video came out like a minute or two before midnight. So most all of you watched it on Tuesday, but technically it was out on Monday. But we got through the week, and I'll give you a little update on what is going on in the family after the bulk of this video is over, if I remember. The weekend was, it was productive in a sense here in the sewing room. I decided that something that was kind of making me get stuck with my projects is things were kind of a mess, and I needed to go through some of my project bins and disperse the scraps out of those back into the color bins. And while I was at it, I'm still not completely through with that, but while I was at it, I also cut some scraps into usable pieces. I generally do 6-inch, 5-inch, 4, 3, whatever else I can get in between there. I hardly ever cut a big piece up into, 9, 10, 12-inch squares or anything like that, but 2.5-inch strips. So that was kind of a nice, mindless thing to do, and at the same time accomplish getting some cleaning up done. And rearranging some fabric. I had been pulling and tugging around on all my fabric, and it was hanging out and not stacked up nice, and that was kind of playing tricks on my mind. So I needed to get things in order, and then I got my floor swept and mopped, and that helped as well. Trash taken out. That's kind of what I did this weekend, in the time that I had to dedicate to being up here. But things are looking nice and neat and clean, and that makes me feel really good. Now, I know that I mentioned that I wasn't going to plan any more projects until the duster was done, and I've decided that that's just impossible. I have too many other little things I want to get going. Nothing huge like a whole entire sew-along bed-size quilt project or anything like that. There's just a lot of little things that I want to do. That cat that the Fat Quarter Shop has, and that Halloween thing, even though I don't celebrate Halloween, I'm not making the Halloween thing, but that cat, I want to make one of those cats. I just think they're adorable, and I think they're cool looking, and I'm just going to call it my cool cat pattern and change it up just a little bit. And I want to make that, and I don't know how many of those I'll make, if it'll be a wall hanging or a table topper or just one cat. I don't know. There's a tote that I want to make, and I want to do a video on that for you. And then also have another project coming up that we're going to do. So this will kind of be a sew along. So get ready. This is foundation paper piecing. Yes, I said it. Foundation paper piecing. We're going to do foundation paper piecing. So if any of you out there want to learn how to do it, or experiment with it, or just try this pattern out, jump in on it. I'm going to set a near the 1st of August date for this to start, and I'll have some videos on it, some tutorial type videos on it. This is piece by number, and it's called Twisting Spiral Heart. You can see it right there. So you can make one of these, you can make 4 of these, you can make an entire quilt of these. I think I'm going to make at least 3, and maybe do a a vertical wall hanging on that. It's 2 colors plus a background. Now this one they did scrappy, so you'd have to adjust the pattern on your own if you're doing scrappy. But otherwise you can see that they're 2 color. So if you want to do this with me, there's an Etsy shop on it, and I have spoken with the designer of this pattern, and let me get that up here for you so you can, I'll try to put some of this stuff in the description box too, you know, link as to what shop you need to go to get it. You will have to buy the pattern. There's no way around it, and it's not expensive. It's only like $3 and something. So this is piece by number quilts. Piece by number quilts. That's all one word, and each word is capitalized. Piece by number quilts, and the designer is Beth Maddox, I believe. And this is a 11-page pattern, and there's choices of a 6-inch or 12-inch, and I'll just show you basically what the pattern looks like, what the pages are that you're going to be using. You'll have an A and a B sheet like this. And if you're doing the 6-inch one, that is actually, this is the size of it. So, I mean, it's teeny tiny pieces if you want to do that. I think I'm going to do the 12 one. And to do the 12-inch one, you have 4 pieces, and it's like quadrants. So you have an A top, and then an A bottom, and you hook them together. And then you have a B top and a B bottom, and you hook them together. These are more manageable pieces. And then it's coded with some symbols as to what the first color and the second color of the hearts are. And then background is BKGD, background. So if you want to take a closer look, you can see that there's a heart and a star are your 2 colors, and the BGKD is your background. So go ahead over there to Etsy and get your pattern. You will need to do that. But like I was saying, I do have a written permission from Beth to use this pattern in a sew along. So, you know, we can talk openly about it. It's a little bit different than, you know, sharing a pattern. There's no way to share this. You have to get your own pattern. It's $3.85. So, yeah. I was going to show you something else. Oh, it comes with a color sheet as well. Oh, here are the fabric requirements. If you're doing a 6-inch, each of those squares would require a 3/8 of a yard of background and then a 1/4 yard each of your 2 colors. And then for a 12-inch one, it's 7/8 of a yard of background, 3/8 of heart color number 1, and 1/2 a yard of heart color number 2. So that's for 1 block there. So no, that's for 4. That's for 4 blocks. So just like you see here on the front, if you had 4 hearts and you used only 2 colors and a background, the yardages that I just gave you is what you would get. And if you've never done it before, you will also need to go ahead and purchase a add a 1/4 ruler. It says add a 1/4, and if you look here, there's a little edge, a ledge right here. And then you'll also need a little hard piece of cardboard for folding, and we'll get to that later when we're more into the tutorial aspect of it. So if anybody wants to join in on that, it's Piece by Number Quilts. on Etsy, and it's the Twisting Spiral Heart. And you just need to choose your fabric based on the size that you want to do, how many of them you want to do, and you'll need your ruler and a piece of stiff cardboard, and you'll be ready to go. So we will be getting into that in the first part of August. I'm going to make a block first all the way through without you, and that way I'll be well versed in showing you how to do it on my second block or third or whatever it happens to be. So that's something exciting we can do together, and I hope a lot of you try to do this. I've done one foundation paper piecing project in my life, and I swore I would never do another one again, but honestly I was very ill prepared to do that paper piecing thing, but I did it all on my own. It was before you went out to YouTube to find out how to do things. So I read the pattern, and I had the ruler and the cardboard, and I just did it. It wasn't a super pleasant experience, but I learned a lot from it, and I think I'm in a better position that I could teach someone else how to do it once I get my first one done. So give me time to get my first heart block done, and then we'll have some videos out there for you to follow. So think about that. What else? Also, the tote bag that I want to make, I would also like to do tutorial type videos on that as well. It's a little tulip top tote. I think it will roughly come out to be about, I don't know, 10 by 12, 9 by 12, something like that, but you can adjust the size on it, and it's super easy as well, and it will be fun and interesting to make. Has a lot of little pockets on the inside and the outside that automatically, well, I'm not going to give you all the details about it, but it is super easy. And I'd like to do a video on that for you as well. So that one might be coming sooner than the paper piecing, I hope. So let's see what I'm going to put on my schedule this week. Well, last week I did do my barn stars, and that's about all I did. I worked a little bit on the duster. So for today, I think I'm going to go ahead and put my other two duster pieces together, and then I will get my entire fabric piece finished today, and that'll leave me in a nice place to start putting the pattern pieces on another day. But I do think I need something in between. So I'm going to work on the duster today, and then tomorrow I am going to get into my Happy Days blocks, because I've already received that next one for July. So I need to go ahead and get my June ones done that I didn't get done. I got the big block done, but I didn't get the applique, so I'm going to put that on Tuesday. See how far I get on that. And then I'm going to leave Wednesday to catch up on those two. I'm really being lenient with myself right now, because I feel like my time could possibly be stolen away. You just never know with things going on. But I'm just going to leave that as a catch-up day, and then Thursday I'm going to see if I can work on the quilt tops that I need to get ready for long arm quilting. I haven't done that yet. I'm working on that though. I've got a little pile over here right now that I'm finding the backings for and getting ready to get those prepared for the long armor. So I think I will do that on Thursday and Friday. So Tuesday is a holiday. Not sure what's going to happen that day. I don't have any particular plans for that day, but I'm just going to treat it like another day, like I always do. But that might change, I don't know. But I think working on the duster fabric and the Happy Days blocks and the quilt tops, preparing for the long armor, is all I'm going to give myself this week. And then all the days in between and the weekend, I'm going to call them catch up, in case those days didn't happen like I thought they would. So let's go ahead and see what the quilt is this week. It's a 72 by 72 inch quilt. And get this, this is a weird name. It's 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1. That's the name of it. That's a very intricate quilt there. See the name of it? 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1. I gotta read this. It says it's by Karen Grover of Rockford, Illinois. Karen liked parts of several different patterns she had purchased in recent years. After completing the piecing for a traditional Lone Star center, she chose favorite parts of each pattern to add to her quilt. Drafting them to fit was a bit of a challenge, and the checkerboard took the longest to complete. Karen machine quilted a variety of designs for each border. She looks forward to the return of area quilt shows so she can display this quilt. So she did the Lone Star Center, and then she had two other patterns that she liked that she incorporated into the rest of the quilt. And I can see why the checkerboard was a challenge, because look at those intersections there off of each point. And then there's the close-up quilting. Looks like crosshatch in those squares, and some other types of stippling and whatnot and the rest of it. Wow. So it's 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 1. So there was 4 patterns, starting with the Lone Star. So all of those patterns equal 1. I get it. I get it now. I get it. I was wondering how in the world is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 going to equal 1, but I get it. I get it now. Okay, so that's what's going on here for this week, and I'm going to continue to do some cleaning as well, cleaning out my project bins that are no longer in progress. It's quilt tops that are done, and I need to disperse the scraps. So I've done a lot of it already, but I've got a lot more to do. I still have a lot of scraps to cut down too. Not a lot. I did put a decent dent in it, and that's just such a therapeutic thing to do, is to take your scraps and cut them into usable sizes and stack them all up and put them away. Oh, and from the cactus pot quilt that I made, I had so many scraps from that, pieces that I had cut on the bias that I didn't end up using. And I cut on grain squares out of it, and I think I have enough to make an entire quilt. And then I'm going to add some bright pink in with it, because some of you thought that with my other cactus pot quilt I should have added some bright pink that went with those blossoms on the cactuses that were in that fabric, the background fabric. So I bagged all that up, and let me get it. Here it is. So I bagged it all up. So I have 6-inch squares. I think I have 31 or 2 6-inch squares, And then I have a bunch of 2.5 by 6.5 bars. And then I have a bunch of on the bias that will work as the binding in 2.5. And then remember this that I purchased is the wrong color for the kaleidoscope quilt. That goes perfect with those blooms. So I'm going to make some kind of little after quilt with this. And so I just went ahead and bagged it up like that so that I could keep all those together. And coming up, I have that Temu haul that I want to make a video of. I have to make a video of. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do as far as storing scraps. I'm going to do something different. I purchased something through them that I think will work kind of neat for keeping track of your scraps and making it to where you're more likely to use them. So look for that. That might be this week. That might be Wednesday's video. I'm not sure. I'd really like to get that done and out of the way and show you what I got. So lots to do as always. I like to have lots of things to do, lots of different things. And that's what's going to happen this week here in the she shed. So I hope you also have your projects in order. And some, if anything else, if nothing else, some ideas for some projects, and get those fabrics out that you've been buying and put something together. Start putting something together. It feels so good to get that fabric out and just start cutting it and make something up with it. So do that and you won't regret it. And I think that's all I had to share with you today. Oh, I was going to tell you about my mother-in-law. It's been a week now since she had fallen. She did go to the emergency room, but they did not keep her. She didn't have any broken bones, but she was in a very, very weakened state and continues to be. She's improved a little bit, but she is having to have around-the-clock care. And fortunately, we have friends and family that can do that. Mark has been having to go and do a lot of things around the house, you know, just to make things right for her to be there. Don't know how long that's going to last, but, you know, in the interim, it has to be done. So hopefully we'll have a resolution to her situation soon, and things will be more stable. But thanks to all of you who sent your well wishes and have been thinking and or praying about that. Appreciate it very much, and continue to do so because we still need support. So thank you very, very much. It's just so nice to have this community of people who care, and I care about you as well, and some of you I do speak to on a personal level, and that's very special to me, and I really appreciate it. So I think that's all. That's all this time for sure. So I will see you on Wednesday with something, most likely a Temu haul. If you don't like Temu, just move on. No need to express your opinions about China and such. You can just keep those to yourself. I respect what you believe, and I would love it if you would respect my beliefs as well. So that's it, and I will see you soon, and have a great week, and sew a little something. All right, bye.